Hello students, welcome back to my channel for Scientific Learner. Today we will revise tissues. But before that, a small request to you all, watch the video till end and like, share and comment. Don't forget to subscribe it so you will get a notification for my new video soon. So let's begin here with the tissues. Now the multicellular organism including human beings, plants and animals, they are made up of the millions of cells. This cells shows a division of labor. What is the mean of this division of labor now? This cell contain different cell organelles inside them and they perform a different function. Along with that, each cell perform a particular function efficiently. Such a cells are grouped together and called as tissue. But in a simple way, how we can define the tissue now? A group of cells that are similar in structure and origin, that means they come from a same parent cell and perform a similar function. If you go for the histology, that means a study of tissue, you will notice cells. When they come together, it forms tissue. Tissues come together, they form the organs. And organs come together and work efficiently, then it forms the system. So that's why to study about the tissue is very important for us. Students, now question comes, are plants and animals made of same tissues? The answer is no. They have some different between them. Now let's compare them animal tissues with the plant tissues. Dear students, we know that animals move from one place to another in search of food, shelter, etc. That means they are the mobile one. Hence they need more energy and their more tissues are living one. If you compare the same point with the plant tissues, they are the dead one or they are not required as a living one. Why? The plants are stationary, so they do not require much energy. Hence more of the living tissues are not required there. In plants, most tissue provide a structural strength. Most of these tissues are the dead one. It can provide a mechanical strength as easily as a living one and need a less maintenance. Now if you see about the animal tissues now, the cell growth is uniformly distributed. Here in a plant tissue, the growth is limited to certain region. They will not keep on growing and growing. If you observe the trunk, you will get idea about that. Now see about the animal tissues, the last point, the structural organization of organ and organ system is more specialized and complex because they have to keep on moving. But if you see about the plant tissues, their structural organization of organ is comparatively less complex. Due to the difference in the structure and function of the plant and animal, they are made up of different types of tissues. Student, now let's study how the plant tissue get classified. So on the basis of function and capacity to undergo the cell division, the plant tissues, they are broadly divided into two types, meristematic tissue and permanent tissue. Meristematic tissue show the presence of cells which are capable of cell division. It's mostly found in the saplings which are growing one. Now the permanent tissues. Permanent tissues show the presence of mature cells which are incapable of cell division. Again, permanent tissue, they are divided into two types, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. In simple permanent tissue, these are composed of a single type of cell. For example, parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma and chlorenchyma. This all in detail we are going to study. Now come to the complex permanent tissue. These tissues, they are composed of more than one type of cell. Here again they get divided into two types, xylem and phloem, on the basis of their function. Xylem is comprises of xylem vessels and tracheids. Phloem is comprises of sieve tubes and companion cells. Students, we have seen now the meristematic tissues or the meristem, they have a power to divide to form a new cells. They increase the length and the girth, or that means the width of a plant, and they're found in a growing areas of plant. So easily we can find out where the meristematic tissues are present. The new cells that are produced by the meristem, they are similar to the parent meristem. But as they grow, the characteristic changes and they show the differentiation. Now see the characteristics of these tissues. The cells which are present in these tissues, they are active. That means they are the living one. They have a dense cytoplasm, thin cellulose wall and prominent nuclei. But they lack vacuoles. Because vacuoles, they provide the rigidity to the cell and they prevent quick cell division. That's why the vacuoles are absent in meristematic tissues. These cells need a dense cytoplasm and soft cells wall for the cell division. Now let's begin with the types of the meristematic tissue on the basis of their location. Now, Three types of meristematic tissues are observed. First is apical meristem, second intercalary meristem, and third one lateral meristem. Apical meristem, when they are found in a shoot, it is called as a shoot apex meristem. And when they are observed in a root, they are called as root apex meristem. They show the primary growth function. That means they increase the length or the height of the plant. Intercalary, now the second one, they are found in the at the base of the leaves or the internodes. They also increase the length of organ like a leaves and internodes. Now the third type is a lateral meristem. They are observed on the side of the stem and the roots. They also have the function of the secondary growth. Here we can see that the two types of lateral meristems are there. The first one is a cork cambium and the second one is vascular cambium. The cork cambium they found beneath the bark and vascular cambium they found in vascular bundles. Let's divide the permanent tissue now, students. Permanent tissues, they are come from the meristematic tissue and they are the matured one. They made up of the dead cells and they lost their power of division. They have a definite shape, size and function, and they may be dead or living. Why we have to say that they are the dead or the living one? Because all meristematic tissue will never turn directly to the permanent one. Step by step, they will lose their capacity to divide. That's why we can say that either they will be a dead or the living one. Now, the process by which the cell arise from the meristematic tissue and take up the permanent shape, size and function, that process is called as differentiation. Now, classification of the permanent tissue. Just now we have seen the permanent tissue, they are classified into two main types, simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Simple permanent tissue, they have the parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, and complex permanent tissue, they show the presence of xylem and phloem. Now this also called as vascular bundle. Let's study now simple permanent tissue by comparing its type parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma, which are made up of a single type of cell. Now parenchyma cells, they are found in every soft part of the plant. They are unspecialized cells. They consist of a thin cell wall and the cell wall is made up of cellulose. The intercellular space is present between the cells. They consist of a living cell at maturity. Then photosynthesis, storage of food, gas exchange and floating in aquatic plants, it is a major function of parenchymatous cells. Now come to the collenchyma. Collenchyma cells, they are found in the petioles, leaves and young stems. They are called as specialized cells. They consist of unequally thin cell wall. The cell wall is made up of cellulose and pectin. Here we can see no or little intercellular space in present between the cells. They consist of living cells at maturity, providing mechanical support to the plant, resisting bending and stretching by the wind are the major function of collenchyma. Now let's study about the sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is found in the mature part of the plant. They are specialized cells. They consist of a thick and rigid cell wall. Cell wall here is made up of waterproofing material called as a lignin. Here in the cells, we can observe no intercellular spaces present. They are closely packed with each other. They consist of a dead cells at a maturity, providing mechanical support, protection and transportation of water and nutrients are the major function of sclerenchyma. Students, on the basis of the structure and the function, parenchyma again divided into six main types. Now the first figure will give you the idea how exactly the parenchyma look. They show the presence of cell wall, cytoplasm, vacuoles are also there but the small one. They have the prominent nucleus and in between the cells they show the presence of intercellular spaces. Now when the parenchyma show the presence of palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma, the name is given as mesophyll parenchyma. So this is the first type of parenchyma. When there is a presence of chlorophyll, then it is called as chlorenchyma. These both are involved in photosynthesis because now the mesophyll parenchyma is helping the main parenchyma and chlorenchyma show the presence of raw material chlorophyll, which is very essential for photosynthesis. So their roles or the functions are clear. Now if you see the aquatic plants, their leaves are floating or their whole body is floating on the surface of water. How this is possible? Because of the parenchyma. So when parenchyma cells show the air cavities into it, then it is called as aerenchyma. So this is a third type of parenchyma where we can see these cavities of air. Then fourth one is prosenchyma. Please observe the fourth figure carefully of prosenchyma. All this says they are compactly arranged. They are very near to each other and they show the big vacuoles. So that means they are responsible for giving the strength to that plant. Now xylem parenchyma, they are responsible for storing the food material. During the daytime, whatever the food is going to prepare, through the process of photosynthesis, it will stored in xylem parenchyma. This is the fifth type of parenchyma. And the last one is the epidermal parenchyma, which is observed near the cell wall. So this particular parenchyma, the cells, they are responsible to regulate the gases exchange and it will protect against the water loss. So student, this is all about the simple parenchymatous tissue that we have studied today, and in next video we will study about the permanent tissue. So bye bye.